I saw that video.
With a News Channel 5 investigation that's raising questions about how a man with a troubled work history was able to get hired as a police officer. Investigative reporter Ben Hall took an in-depth look.
Wait till you see this shit. I was talking to Joe about this earlier today, so yeah, I guess we did kind of make up because
Marshall
we
County.
back onto business,
found
you know?
a long history of discipline.
Joe sent me this. You're never going to believe this.
The disturbing video went viral.
Stay down, you stupid son of a...
It shows several officers subdue William Jeanette, who refused to get into a restraint chair in the Marshall County Jail. Christopher Stallings' body cam shows him on Jeanette's back after he was handcuffed and in leg restraints, saying he could not breathe. Jeanette's last words were, "I'm good." Stallings quickly responded.
Oh, you ain't good. You gonna lay right there for a minute.
And as we first...
And I know we already watched this video, but this is an update, everybody. Just so you know.
reported, a month before Jeanette's death, the department suspended Stallings for 2 days for yelling at a 10-year-old girl and putting her in handcuffs.
You better stop it. Because you come at me that way, you walking away with a busted head.
The department found Stallings escalated the situation and got into an argument with a 10-year-old.
You want to fight like a grown woman? I will treat you like a grown woman, which means I will bust your head. Do you understand? Get her shoes on her before I lose my temper.
Before becoming a police officer in Lewisburg, Stallings had a troubled history as a corrections officer in both Davidson and Bedford counties. In Davidson County in 2011, a fellow officer said, "I am in fear. I feel threatened. I do not feel
remarkable
safe."
News Informer said it should have his kid reviewed by CPS.
And Stallings received a written reprimand.
It's like looking in the mirror.
He was suspended for 5 days after he intentionally poked holes in coffee cups and placed them on the table for inmates to use, allowing hot coffee to pour through the holes. In 2013, Stallings was suspended for 24 hours, 2 full shifts, after admitting to losing his temper and taunting and cursing an unruly inmate. His supervisor blasted his behavior, writing he potentially caused the incident to escalate. A few months later, Stallings resigned, effective immediately, after yet another suspension
24 hours?
sleeping on duty.
Laughable.
Stallings
I
wrote,
agree with
"Due
you,
to
News
recent
Now, forward.
circumstances and situations
pay.
partly beyond my control, I feel it is necessary to terminate my
It's like they learned how to be a cop from The Naked Gun.
his resignation and noted he is not
Anybody remember those movies?
rehire.
Yeah. It's like he learns how to be a cop from fucking boot
Here
camp
in
or
Davidson
something.
County.
Shit.
He's the fat Leslie Nielsen.
One of his supervisors wrote him a glowing letter of recommendation, which he used to get a job as a jailer in Bedford County in 2014. But the very next year, a fellow Bedford County officer reported that Stallings was cussing and yelling at an unruly inmate and pushed him down to the ground while he was handcuffed. After that, a supervisor told Stallings his employment at the jail was not working. The supervisor wrote, at that time, Officer Stallings stated that he would resign. He did not want his separation to read that he was terminated for an unsatisfactory job performance. Despite all that, Stallings applied to the Tennessee Law Enforcement Training Academy in 2017 and became certified as a police officer.
Police officers wield an enormous amount of power over the lives of everyday Americans.
Duke University law professor Ben Grunwald has published articles calling for a national database listing disciplinary issues for people in law enforcement, even corrections officers.
And I think it's just as important for us to be tracking this kind of stuff for corrections officers as it is for law enforcement.
He says every state has its own laws regarding what is reported about the disciplinary histories of police officers. In Tennessee, the Peace Officer Standards
is what we need to do. I've been talking about it for 2 years.
Serves as the primary.
I thought Trump signed this.
Law enforcement.
No idea.
Be notified when police
what I'm saying
are
is
suspended 15 days or longer.
You need
or
a
they
registration for these people.
Termination.
If they're going around threatening 10-year-olds,
suspension below 15
they need to go on a
we
list
don't track it.
And
of people that are more likely to abuse others' rights again.
But they do not have to report them about jailers.
I'm not talking about private citizens, but if you're in a position of power,
history as a
it's a very serious problem.
When he went on to become a police officer.
Is if we're hiring officers
and then he
who've
killed
done bad
that
things in
dude.
the past, that's one of the easiest predictors to know that they're going to do bad
At the beginning of the video,
so when
he took
Lewisburg
part in killing that man. After all this shit happened, he was allowed to kill somebody.
And when
We're
he resigned
allowing
from
this
Lewisburg
shit
a
to
week
happen.
after the death of William Jeanette, And a month after getting suspended for handcuffing a 10-year-old,
He aged so much in 4 years.
6 months
He looks
after
like he's a
leaving
heavy drinker.
Lewisburg, Stalker
Yeah, it
was
looks like he got a lot of
hired
fucking
at
fatter,
Mount Pleasant
too.
Police Department.
Must be all
Called
them
him
cheeseburgers
their
and
top
pizza.
applicant.
So where's this at?
We've learned
Tennessee.
Stalker has resigned
Tennessee.
from the city of
Yeah.
Mount Pleasant Police Department in an agreement that gives him 2 weeks severance and overtime pay. In
Uh-huh.
his resignation letter, he wrote he's leaving because
Yeah,
of the
10-year-old.
political
What a hero.
climate
Not
and
Political
our
climate.
continuing coverage. He wrote he did not want to damage the department's
You
reputation.
see that? How sick
City
this person
manager
is?
called him an
He's still
example.
running for governor.
I bet you he
Been there.
believes that it's
Stallings
the
ended the
political
letter
climate
saying he
that's
will
causing
seek
these
future
problems,
employment in
not
law
his
enforcement
actions, right?
or
That should be back the way it was 50 years ago, where you just walk in and beat that kid up with your billy club, and then he just takes his beatings, right?
Well, I think that's a clue. Political climate. I think he's going to run for office. He's going to make the change.
And Ted, that's it right there, right? This stuff has been happening forever, but nobody had cameras. There wasn't cameras in the
That's right.
prisons. There wasn't cameras, body cams.
What kills me is the way he was talking to the kid, man.
Yeah.
A parent would go, listen, if you were out and about with your kid and you start talking to your kid like that, they call the
You
cops
bash
on
your
you.
head in. Yeah.
No, here's a good one I could do a little
Yeah,
later.
you'd have CPS
Cop
at your
fails
door in a
at
minute.
leading arrest
Yeah,
mission.
just
Gets caught
bash your kid's head
and
in.
charged.
Thing is, a cop,
A
Good
10-year-old.
one.
Come on.
the thing is, a cop needs a warrant to walk in your house. CPS doesn't need that.
Right.
Yeah,
They'll go to school and talk to your kid.
A few on
they have to have a court order, dude.
There's a few on about these
They think
dumbass
that you
bitches
did
called, you know,
something
That- that-
Karens, you know,
That's
raping
That's not,
bitches.
no. Well, maybe it's state to state because, you know, they can go up to, if someone calls, they can go to the school and talk to your kid. I
Yeah,
was reading an article about it.
yeah, they can talk to your kid.
Got the
pretty much
wrong,
about your-
they had gotten the wrong kid, freaked the kid out.
Yeah, we watched that on here last year.
Yeah.
Yep.
Well, just
And
like
take your
I
kid
saw
from that
a
school
video of
somewhere
an
else, and
8-year-old
now you
boy
gotta go
getting
figure out
arrested
where your
and
kid is
handcuffs
to
on
go
him.
pick him up, and
It's
good
for
luck.
school property.
Yeah.
And that's
I
how
saw
you
that
had to
video.
end up
That
on
man.
Epstein's
I
child
was like, holy
sex island.
shit.
That works. Happy Christmas.
Yeah.
This cop was awarded Officer of the Year despite not working a single day in 2020.
What?
Hey, at least he didn't hurt anyone.
He was,
Officer of the Year.
he was the last one that could qualify. They have to give the award to someone.
Look how happy he is.
He didn't get a single complaint all year.
Yeah, the bank
Look at that dude, that
was
fucking guy. He's got the biggest fucking smile. They're like,
Thank you.
yeah! Yeah, I can do this next year too. Oh,
Eric
God dang.
Walter Sheed stood up behind the podium before the El Monte City Council last meeting to honor
Just
Officer
your focus
Carlos
is put a bad apple.
Molina.
Yeah.
I'm not very good at Spanish.
Yeah.
I don't know. I have no idea how to pronounce this. Walter Sheen bestowed upon him the prestigious
Looks like
Police
Walter
Officers
Shield.
Association Officer of the Year award for 2020.
Or
He's
Shield.
been with us for 21 years. I remember when he first walked into the detective bureau, his leather was squeaking. I read his reports. I read his reports, and then go into the detectives. You're an excellent investigator. He never looked back, and then he just never went to work again. Molina did not perform anything in 2020. So how does he get awarded Officer of the Year? When
Did he get
there were
paycheck?
other conserving officers, Hira said, I think this is an affront to the city's administration and to the council itself. I think the board is being antagonistic. Just to be contrary to the city manager's police chief. Why else would they do something like this?
It's like the best troll ever, right?
Yeah.
That is awesome.
It's like Booty Warts is on that council.
Who didn't work the whole year? Let's give them an award. Let's see what
Oh, fuck.
Oh, man.
But could you imagine being an officer and going up and what kind of speech do you give? You know,
Can you imagine getting the phone call of and you go, you know, I didn't work last year, right?
as a Teacher of the Year award. years.
Dudes that work here, that just so you know, I know you get confused.
Maybe there's only like 4 cops and they couldn't give it to anyone else because they already won it. I'm just saying.
So they probably had a fucking invited 4 cops probably drew with their name in the hat. Okay, let's see here. Oh, yeah, okay, looks like we'll give it to him.
It was the Mets.
Hey, congratulations, you're coming. Woo! Guys, fucking darling. We're in the house. Honey, I won!
$5 million, which would have to do in this contract. They basically paid him a couple $1 million a year for like
bird, don't jump.
Yeah, that's it. Yep.
Yeah.
So they paid this guy.
The fact that you accepted the award says a lot.
Deferred his payments. He's made millions. He's like the highest paid baseball player because he's deferred these payments forever instead of just
like
getting $5 million. And he sucked.
It's funny.
See him back in the day. It's like back in the day. A-Rod was really expensive.
Like July 1st every year he gets a payment.
The news response to the like them just being antagonistic.
I remember like back in the day when the Islanders signed Rick DiPietro 10-year, like some fucking like under $200 million. God, they were paying that. After he retired, they were still paying us contract for like 4 or 5 years.
I wonder why the guy's not working. And did he get paid still?
Now look at the Islanders. They're a good team now. Hella good.
I wonder.
They were one game away from making Stanley Cup final.
Like you said, did he get paid? Is he on like paid leave? What is going on?
I don't know.
Maybe he saved someone's life.
I mean, I could have probably read more of the story, but it's funnier the way I read it.
Oh, yeah, that's better. For the show.
Hey, Bird, hear us? Hey, Bird, what footwear do you wear while you're working? I'm kind of curious.
Sandals. Flip-flops mostly, but sandals when he's going up on roofs.
Yeah.
Not barefoot. He's not a real construction worker.
I know, right?
These shoes are called bulletproof, dude, and they present a Kevlar toe. Pretty dope.
Yeah, I love the Kevlar.
You couldn't wear that on your hand.
Yeah, probably.
Classic cat says that cop that turns the soul a few bullets.
You have
for
the Kevlar
dessert.
strip down the sole, so if you step on a nail, it won't go through.
I believe that's graphic.
That's how they're made. Check out the website.
I'm not Lawrence Fishburne.
This was a very similar to the interaction when the guy I should have left it down so you couldn't see the video and said this was the phone call, but it'd be funny. But do you remember this one?
Steel toe flip flop.
Oh yeah.
During an on-air interview. Did you get a lot of reaction to that Super Bowl commercial?
What Super Bowl commercial?
Oh, you know what? My mistake.
Wrong black guy.
Right, I'm not Lawrence Fishburne.
That's my fault. I know that. That was my fault.
See, that's why I know I don't have to be good at the news.
We don't all look alike.
As I don't do that, even if I do that, I'm still fine.
I was confused. I thought it was Joe Cool. So
Yeah, from now on, when Joe Cool comes on, I'm gonna be like, I'll just call him like Samuel L. Jackson or something.
yeah.
Except James Earl Jones.
I hate this commercial he does where he sings.
Do you agree or disagree that Joe Cool should have his own cartoon? Like there should be a Joe Cool cartoon.
It'd be an Adult Swim cartoon.
Yep, and yells at police and smokes weed.
Yep. And you see her live go.
Joe Cool cartoon would be huge.
Imagine that.
Yeah. But make it risky like Joe Cool. Like make it look like all the time. Like
Mac on all the ladies.
Yep.
Yep.
I'm telling you, it would be huge. You ever see Chosen?
Shit, yeah. The one that fucking that one doll, Joe Cool doll, pulls the string.
You should look it up. You might understand some of my comedy then if you watch that.
The last TV show I watched.
Japanese anime.
You're a little behind.
Yeah, baby.
Not a big TV guy.
You got to be careful what you waste your time watching.
Yep.
But there's little gems out there, right? Chosen was amazing. There's this new show, and I can't even remember the name, but I keep on running into it and then finishing watching what they've made up until then.
I
so
like
these two robots come with kids to this weird planet,
Yep.
And they're like the mother and father because they were embryos and then they hatched them, and then almost all the kids die.
Yes, man, they could add Joe Cool to the game and serious bad hour. He'd be right, yeah.
And bad guys, they're just like.